Guys, I want to throw this out before we're going to actually no, we're going to go to some of the super chats. I want to respect the viewers here. This from Nick says that goal is Raya's fault. He ain't it. 6th or 7th best starting goalkeeper in the Premier League. Ramsdale isn't any better for me. Mid off, the goalkeeper we should have was in the other goal. Porto showed experience. I will say Costa looked amazing last night. He looked absolutely amazing in terms of command in his box. This here comes from Stay Finessing. He says, Egal, you melt. You've lost all European knockout games at home under Arteta. Go stat pad some FA Cups and plates. You need heritage for this. Are you worried about that stat, though, that you haven't won a home knockout tie under Arteta? Is that not a concern for you at all, Egal?
Didn't we beat Olympiacos?
No, you haven't won a home knockout tie under him. That's fact.
You remember that with Aubameyang?
So we won our tie away from home 3-2.
Yes, but again, are you not worried that you haven't won a European knockout game at home under Arteta?
No, Terry. Second half, different team, different performances. We're gonna see them show up. Don't worry.
Fair enough. Home second leg, learn from the first leg. Too early to banter at half time. Football gods are listening. Do you agree with that, Sar? Do you think rivals are doing too much too soon?
Yeah. Listen, I think the banter is coming a bit too soon, but also. Listen, there was a lot of people that were very, very excited, man. Like, I was excited to a certain degree. I thought it was going to be 2-1. I thought that we were going to score 2 goals, and they have pacey wingers, so I definitely knew we'd concede at least 1 goal because they have pacey wingers and they have very technical players. But I do believe it's the stick is coming a bit too early because I think going into the home game we are favourites, obviously, because we're home, but listen, they've definitely got something to fight for now because they've got that 1 goal, and anybody who knows the Champions League knows, bro, if they've got 1 goal, all they have to do is sit back, 2 rows of 4, bang, that's it. They've got you lot. They're just like, listen, you come attack us. We're just gonna be in our box chilling, and we'll wait for you to come and attack us. If you can get through, you get through. But we're just gonna play the long game, and they're just gonna be trying to do the same thing that they did at home, which was
I'm not gonna lie to you,
give us all the possession.
How I look at it when it comes to the Emirates, yeah. Again, you lot at home, you're a little bit more comfortable. That's where Saka seems to be comfortable as well. You know what I mean? He doesn't like playing away from home. But how I look at this game, yeah, it all depends on who you have available. Obviously. You will miss it up here. There we go. there we go. There we go.
There you are.
How I look at it, yeah. Like obviously, at the Emirates, you've got an advantage because you're at home and you play better there, yeah. But it all depends on who you have available, bro. Because yesterday he only brought on Jorginho, right? This guy clearly weren't trying to trust Nketiah, a guy that he just gave a new contract. Again, not trying to trust Reece Nelson, even though Saka stunk out the place the whole game. And Martinelli stunk out the place the whole game. So I'm looking at who you're going to be able to bring into the game. Maybe have a Partey on the bench, Jesus on the bench. Zinchenko, I think, will help as well against a low block. That's what I'm looking at as a key factor next game.
I think Egal, you're on mute. I don't know.
You're on mute, Egal.
But you ain't got...
If I would have said that, wouldn't he have said excuses, Omar? I mean, why did I say Omar? My bad. Sorry.
No, it's not excuses.
What if yeah. Listen. Right now the stick is coming. The stick is coming.
Very offensive. Very offensive.
Yeah. Listen, I just, for me personally, I can't lie. I think obviously, listen, we have a lot of players coming back, and even yesterday the substitutions were very poor. Bringing on Jorginho at such a late stage for me was a very poor decision to make.
Should have come on at half time.
I thought he should have come on at half time. Also, I thought Fabio Vieira could have come into this game. He played for Porto. He knows how they play. So don't you need somebody with an experience from that team to be on the pitch with us and trying to help us? Do you know what I mean?
I agree with that bit so much. I thought that was generally that's like a little bit of a secret weapon because there's no way you, even if he's not been good enough for the Prem. We know the Premier League is slightly more physical. You could tell by the kind of fouls that Arsenal were giving away last night. That was another bit of naivety. Even from the older, I saw Julian on AFTV talk about you couldn't even touch him. But that's been European football for 20 plus years. You know you can't be physical, and that's where this Arsenal team has got to learn and learn quickly. Tony here says the disrespect to Porto is real. You need to put more respect on them. Porto has no pressure on the win away. So that's a fair point. Most Arsenal fans said 0-0 or 1-0. I will say that, to be fair, most gooners that like watch the Terrace when we did a show about this the other day, they were talking 1-0s and things like that. But I get why Egal is kind of getting cooked for the things he said.
Hey, my team scored 21 goals in 5 games, Terry. Can I feel confident?
Of course you can. No, of course you can. But I also understand why if you say 4-0 and then you lose 1-0, you're going to get cooked. If you'd have come on and said, I think we might scrape a 1-0 or a 0-0, I think you'd have been left. Like, I'm talking about you individually. Yeah. It's like Don sitting here and saying that he's got the only manager in the league that makes mistakes. He's like, he's going to get cooked for that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's didn't say that, by the way, but we move.
Blaze here says only Arsenal had to pray for Porto trending before the game. And you're right, Egal, we won't see many losses from Arsenal, but you know what else we won't see for Arsenal? Trophies is what Blaze says.
Well,
big up Blaze, man. Big up Blaze, man.
Misery loves company. None of these man in the Champions League. That is true.
Yeah, man.
The rest of us got them.
When we're in there, we'll win it. When we're in there, we'll win it, bro.
Don saying have self-awareness is wild. It's true. I love Don. I love Don. I love it. Egal, if Liverpool starting 11 beat you without Rice, Odegaard, and Saka, and with Saliba, Raya having their worst game ever, is Porto FC better than Arsenal?
No. That's why we're getting cooked, because they outperformed us on the day. They're not a better team.
Yeah. Tevin here says, I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's fans like Egal that make it harder for Arsenal fans in spaces, and why we get grilled all the time is what Tevin has got to say here.
Bro, I don't control how people treat you.
No, you don't control what they do. You don't control what they do. But I do. I listen. I get it. But equally, like each to their own, innit? Like I think Egal should. I respect the super chat, but Egal shouldn't stop because somebody else might get a little bit of crap. That's very true. Egal should be himself, and that's why I love Egal. Don, oh come on, man! I love you as a Chelsea fan, but hey, you need to listen to what other people say and understand them as well.
Bro, I literally understood what they all said, but I just had to clarify that I'm not saying if we're set up correctly, we're going to win weekly. All I'm saying is it gives the team a better chance to play better, which in return should mean more W's. That's it. That's all I want.
Roman, he wants you back, man. He wants you back.
Yeah, they all want you back, Roman. Don is lying. He knows full well Chelsea fans are the most spoiled and expect their team to win everything. Now they don't believe in the process, is what Plasma Fam says. Man like Lamb, ready to lose on Sunday. Lamb, that's I like that. We called it. We in fairness, you've grown up a lot, Ram, because my nickname for him used to be two backer because he had no chest, he had two backs. That's what we used to say to him on there. Man like two backer.
No, you got
I like that one. I thought that might have caught on, you know. That was during the Star Wars hype. I thought it was a good one. Apparently, Chelsea can't financially afford to win due to UEFA financial rules. No, I mean, all the new rules that UEFA have brought in come predate. And by the way, if you're not in Europe, you can sign people on as long a contract as you want up until now. They won't penalize you after the fact. You can't do that. It's like, imagine you parked on a double yellow line 3 weeks ago and you're not there anymore. Then you get a ticket because it's now a double yellow line. You can't be doing man like that. Terry, where is Sava? I don't know. I don't know where he is right now. I hope he's well. I hope he's good. I hope he's doing his thing. But Ram, I want to go back to you now. Do you think Arsenal's defeat is going to have a knock-on effect in the Premier League this weekend? Because Liverpool won last night. Went 4 points clear of City, 5 points clear of Arsenal. Arsenal playing Newcastle on the back of this defeat. Do you see it having an impact on the way Arsenal play this weekend against Newcastle? Or do you think different competition, back at home in the league, inconsequential?
I think Arsenal are lucky that they're playing Newcastle, because I think Newcastle are just as bad themselves. Who was their last game against? It was against Luton, or was it Bournemouth, something like that? And they drew at home. So Arsenal are lucky to have someone like Newcastle, because I don't think they're going to beat Newcastle. I don't think Newcastle are going to beat them. I think Arsenal are going to have a pretty standard routine game. If it was like a Man United or a Chelsea, then I'll be having a different conversation. But because it's Newcastle and the fact that they are already, like, they don't have majority of their players and they're not playing particularly well, I expect Arsenal to beat them. But I honestly believe if you lot don't beat Newcastle, this is going to be a serious problem, because then it's a bigger issue. Now we just got to talk about mentality, because You are by far better than Newcastle. You play better football than Newcastle, and you should be smacking them. That's my opinion on that game. If you don't, and you draw or you lose, then serious conversations got to be had about your team. But you won't. You'll probably beat them about 2 or 3-0. So
you don't believe there's going to be a side effect?
I think it would have been a bigger test if it was against a Chelsea or a United, but because it's Newcastle and they're not doing particularly well, I think you're going to smack them.
Yeah. You see, after everyone celebrated the loss yesterday, Terry, they've now come back to their senses and they realize that just because you lose one game doesn't mean all of a sudden you're a terrible team.
Egal, you always do this thing. Yeah. You always do this thing.
Your comprehension's all over the place, mate.
And also acknowledge that you're still a decent team and you're gonna beat teams. We can come here and cook you for what you've said. It doesn't mean that we think you're gonna lose your next couple.
Egal, we are cooking your opinion.
You know something?
What you're trying to do, Egal? Egal, you want everyone to be against you, so when you win, it feels better. That's what you want.
Everyone's already
against the world. Us against the world.
It's Arsenal's public enemy number one. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Your fan base are public enemy number one.
It's your fans, bro. It's your fans.
Your fan base.
I just want to know.
You especially.
I just want to know.
Guys, sorry. Look at Jordan. Jordan, don't make me laugh. Jordan says, "I can't lie. Egal makes me want to hate my fan base."
Everyone has parts of their fan base they don't like. I know.
Jay reckons here, guys. Jay says Egal has you man on strings. He does.
Never.
No, he does. He is. He's got you all moving like Pinocchio, brother. 100%.
The way he said one thing, these man's like, hold on a minute, Egal.
I want to know.
Bro, it's comprehension.
A Newcastle win or draw?
Just talk football. Are Arsenal going to win this weekend, boys?
Yes, we expect them to.
I think so.
But Egal's acting like we've all come on here and said that Arsenal is shit, this player's crap, that player's crap. None of us said that.
No, but when I'm speaking, I'm not speaking about you guys only. I'm speaking to the public.
No, but even the public, Egal, the public know you're a good team. The public know that in Champions League knockout games, you guys lack the experience and the know-how to go against certain teams away from home, to come and say we're going to win them 4-0 easy game. That was wild. And obviously you're getting pulled up on that. No one's out. I've not seen one person turn around and say, "Oh, Arsenal are crap. They're gonna go out. They're this, they're that." No one's saying that. But when you come out here and say all of this wild stuff and then it doesn't come into fruition, you will get cooked for that. That's standard.
We all know your team's good. Why do you need so much validation every single time?
No one needs validation.
I'm just
merely one second. I'm just merely putting stuff in perspective because some people are taking it a little bit too far. Maybe not you guys, but just understand there are Tottenham fans that I spoke to yesterday that are saying there's no difference between you and us. There are people out here telling me. There are people telling me out here that this loss proves to me that you're not on the level of the teams like City at this moment in time. And I'm just saying.
You're not though, Egal. So what are you on about?
Egal, respectfully, what
my point is one loss doesn't dictate and prove anything. If we were knocked out yesterday, it would be a different story.
Egal, do you know why you're contradictory to yourself? Because literally, just when you come into the show, you basically said the win against Liverpool showed you that you was better than Liverpool. One game showed you that.
No,
so how does one game now not? How does one game now?
No. When you're judging yourself compared to another team and you play them 3 times, your performances against that team can definitely tell you what you think about how good you are. No. We played them 3 times.
In your voice note, you said this game showed me this game.
That Emirates game.
Maybe I need to be more precise when I speak, so you get my point. But hey, long story short, we're not losing to Newcastle. 8:00 kickoff. I expect us to win. Easy 3-1. If we can keep a clean sheet, it would be great. But somehow we always concede against Newcastle. It's going to be a rough and tough game. This is where we need to bounce back and show a good performance at home with the home crowd. I'm going to try to get tickets to go to the game myself. And I know if I show up, we're winning guaranteed.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know your record. I've got to shoot. Next time I come on, I hope it's going to be me, you know what I'm saying, lifting those big ears, man. You know what I'm saying? Up the Chelsea every time, man. Big up, man.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, Don. Thank you. No, I think Arsenal will win this weekend. As much as they were poor last night, it is a different. And this is irony is it is a different competition, and I just think I think Arsenal will learn a lot from last night, but they've got to learn really, really quickly. I don't see Newcastle look really poor at the minute. I genuinely don't. Of course, they can win. I'm not saying that there's 100% no chance they do it, but I think they will bounce back. I think that it's a very different situation. But Liverpool winning last night does put a little bit of pressure on Arsenal and put a little bit of pressure on City, because that's a nice little gap. And with them now being able to focus on the Carabao Cup, it makes it a really, really interesting weekend indeed. This here from Tevin. Tevin here says, George, I can't ever pronounce that. Was it soliloquy? Soliloquy, that's the one. I know what it means. I just struggle to say it. On our team says otherwise. The way he went at Saka, asking what kind of winger he is. I see you, fam. We'll see Saka. We'll see on Saka, is what Tevin says you hear, George.
I mean, what kind of winger is he? One dribble attempt in a Champions League knockout round when they were comparing him to Gareth Bale, the Gareth Bale. Says a lot. It says a lot, man.
I think that's partially due to the system, but that's just my opinion. I think in the system that Arteta plays, sometimes he plays him as a very controlled. He plays him as like a winger. Like he tells him to hold himself back, bro. Don't take on your man. Don't risk us leaving space in behind.
I get that,
these
and I would.
That's the only reason why I don't like the.
I agree to an extent. There's a system problem, but one dribble attempt, that's not a system problem. That's the player. The player's afraid to run at his man. That's just simple, basic. Well, you're playing on the wing. You have space. You have space in front of you. Attack the space. Beat your man. If Saka was doing that job, beating his man on the left side, taking him on and putting crosses into the box, you would have had on target. You would have had some more chances. But he didn't do that. And that's why Arsenal played so bad. And you have to look at the way he plays. That's causing a problem to you guys. That doesn't take away, and I'm not calling him a bad player or anything. I'm far from that. But at the end of the day, that's not the type of winger that I like or the type of wingers that I watch. And
yeah, but when he's playing for England, you're rooting for him, cheering him on.
I'm not an England fan, so you're coming for the wrong guy, Egal. I would be rooting against him. So again,
who do you support?
It's the case that you set him, you kind of set him up for fail in a sense, because when you made the comparison with Bale, you're gonna put too much expectations on the guy,
especially on Champions League week. You done it wrong.
I welcome one second. I welcome the expectations for my players, because I expect my players, when I pick them up, for them to deliver to that level. If they don't deliver to that level, I'm not going to shy away. For as long as Terry's known me, I've always picked up my players. And if there's a situation where one of these guys turned out to be frauds, like Aubameyang, I'll tell you. But when they're performing and they're on that level, I expect those kind of performances.
Well, you don't
and
make
until Bukayo Saka is proven to be what you guys claim to be, not as good as you guys claim to be, or not as good as I claim to be, then we'll talk. But at this moment in time, Bukayo Saka is performing on a world-class level. He just had a bad game.
In terms of this weekend, what you predicting? Arsenal, Newcastle, 8 p.m. kickoff. What are you going for, Egal?
3-1 Arsenal victory.
3-1 Arsenal. What are you saying, Chatty Pay?
2-0 Arsenal.
George?
I'm going to go 1-0, a bit more conservative.
Sard?
I think it's going to be a 2-1. I think it's going to be a 2-1 to Arsenal.
Ram? You're on mute, Ram.
Oh, sorry. 2-0 Arsenal.
2-0. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal. They might score more, but I'm going to go 2-0. I think they'll win the game. No doubt about it. I was about to